That's all right.
Okay, we're live.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start. Bob, if you'll do a roll call, please.
I will. Present is Jeremy Fisher, Jerry Nelson, Neil Beaver, Robert M. Ferguson Jr., all physically present, Peggy Myers, Tony Janeway, Christina Lynn, and Steve Hicks. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 citizens.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Do you gentlemen have anything to correct?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Say it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved as presented. First person we have on the on the issue tonight, Larry. You would like to speak?
Yeah.
You might want to introduce who you are and where you are. So,
Larry McClellan, in-laws catering. We are interested in presenting an enabling ordinance to allow us to get a three-way liquor license. Currently, we just obtained a one-way to have beer there. And now we're interested in doing a three-way so we can use that more on the catering side of the business. But it would also allow us to have liquor in the shop there and at the store as well. Currently, we're working on putting some volleyball courts in. They haven't started yet because it's been a little soggy. But yeah, that's coming soon. And yeah.
How would you have this separate for the 21 and up and over?
So there would be no separation. We're just going to follow like Indiana's excess rules to where we will have table service. So there will be no like functioning bar or anything like that. There will be tables that we serve the alcohol to because that's what the state ABM requires.
And what all are you planning on carrying?
Well, we got beer already. We got some ciders. If we were to go do caterings, whatever it would allow us, or a customer one in the shop, probably just a couple of staples, bourbon, tequila, maybe vodka. Couple other.
Do they need an enabling ordinance? The gas station didn't need one.
So the reason that, sorry,
No, you're good.
but yeah, the reason the gas station didn't need one was because it's a different, totally different license to have a packaged liquor store. We wouldn't have any carry out at the shop itself as well. But basically, in order to do the restaurant or retailer side of it, you have to have an enabling ordinance signed in order for us to do it.
If the town does that, then the town doesn't have any say for anybody else that wants a liquor license. Then it takes away that for like 2 years or something. That's what we learned during the planning commission or one of those meetings is that,
yeah, you are correct on that. It's
yeah, you
2
take away the
years
voice of
and
the town.
60 days that no other business could have it.
Do what?
No.
No.
No, we can't change the ordinance.
Oh, yeah. Do you have, I mean, I know I have a copy here of it from it where we had it, you know, for the down there. Did you do that or was that done by his?
Maybe they drafted it, I don't remember.
But you didn't have to pass it though, I thought, with the gas station.
We didn't pass anything with the gas
We didn't
station,
have to
no.
do nothing, but they had,
Yeah.
they already had a copy done of something, you know, we had, they
It
thought
was-
we
Right.
were required to.
I think their attorneys drafted that.
Okay.
But the gas station, they had gotten signatures. Have you guys attempted that at all or seen what like public input would be?
No.
Okay. So my question to Christina and Bob, I guess. If we proceed in that direction for this ordinance, does that have to be posted in advance here?
No,
So
it doesn't
we just-
impose
Okay.
monetary fine.
So it'd be just basically up to the board.
Well, I mean, not that it doesn't have to be posted,
Posted,
it's gotta be
right.
on the agenda.
Right,
It doesn't have to, you can waive the first reading. You don't have those restrictions
so you
that you
can,
do with an ordinance when you're imposing a fine or a
Okay.
monetary penalty.
so what you're saying is, let me make sure I got this correct, so, if you draft one for us, from the copy that we had before, if it is then on our agenda, we could, pass by the first reading, go directly to the second reading, get it all done in one night, or,
It takes 100% of the council
to
to vote yes to make, and that means all three of you. If one person's missing, then you don't get all
Right.
three. But it takes all three of you to agree to go on to the second vote,
Right, to waive it.
to waive. But
okay,
it takes not just a majority, but all three.
okay. So, I'm gonna ask Christina if you could draft the copies for us, so that we'll have it at the next meeting. And then put you guys on the agenda for that.
Do we don't have to have a public hearing.
I'm trying to remember, I don't remember. Too many things have gone in my head since then.
I know.
I don't remember. I know we wanted to have a public hearing or a public meeting.
Mhm.
I cannot remember if we have to.
I don't
I'll
think
have to
we
look
have
at that.
Get that done. And then you can let us know so we can let
Mhm.
them know also.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So that's what we'll do. She'll draft it and bring it to the next meeting for us. Find out whether or not we have to have a public meeting, which we'll post in advance. So that is what we'll do.
Thanks, you guys.
No, thank you.
Hey, Bob, your video is not broadcasting on YouTube. So I got people sending me messages asking if the meeting's going on, they can't get on. I just checked here and I can't get it either.
It says it's live.
Well, I'm just letting you know, they say they can't.
I got 2 people watching it.
Oh, there it is. It wasn't a second ago. but-
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks. We'll get right back with you and we'll get it drafted.
I would,
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I would think when you put it on the agenda, you specify what it is, not
Okay.
just
Correct.
the name of the person or.
I
the
didn't know.
business.
Correct.
Oh, no, I know, but
We will,
I think it should reflect what the request is on the
okay,
agenda.
we can do that.
Yep.
Okay, next one is the park.
So we had our fundraiser Saturday night. I heard many compliments about the venue. I heard many compliments about the food. Just about the event overall. Someone who's been to several of these fundraisers said they thought it was the best fundraiser they've been to recently. Venue was good, food was good, band was good, just a lot of compliments. More importantly, we netted a profit of $22,813.50 for the park.
Good.
Bob did an excellent job promoting the event, getting sponsorships for tables and for the event. Peggy, again, is a rock star in fundraising and getting tons of items for the auction. From the auction itself, we had $6,800-ish from items that we auctioned off at the event. Just a great event overall and a great profit in fundraising for the park. Aside from that, of course, weather has been a problem in construction. There's still some groundwork to do. Kevin Brainerd has said every day he thinks he's going to get in there and get this done and get that done, and then it rains. And so we're a bit delayed in that regard. I don't know, Bob, if you have a better update on the
They're down there
timeline.
working right now, and they were hoping to have all the dirt mounds down by the end of the week, but and they're supposed to turn over the property to me on the 15th, which is Friday. They're not gonna, I don't, I
figured
do
we're
not
missing that
trust
deadline.
that we are going to hit that deadline, but I would not expect it to go any farther than a week.
So that is great. We may have told you this already. We have all the playground equipment in here, purchased. There's a community build in July.
23rd, 24th, and 25th.
So hopefully we're able to hit that mark.
And the community build is to help get all the equipment.
To put all the equipment together.
And those are all volunteer people.
That'll
correct?
be all volunteers from the area. So, and we'll be working more and more on getting people for that. We'll put out the word. I might get a hold of you to help
Mhm.
me put something together like you did for the cleanup.
Okay.
And then that way we can put something out and then hopefully get people to sign up. And then we'll also work on, I think Peggy's already started working on getting churches to do the lunch, because it'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and run until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. My wife and I is going to pick up on the donuts. We'll have donuts for everybody in the first thing in the morning for breakfast. We'll have coffee down there, and then we'll have lunch served. And hopefully we'll do that through some of the churches in town for those 3 days.
So those days, is that a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
It is, sir.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I've already talked to somebody yesterday about putting in the holes. That's going to be a big deal, is to get all the holes put in, because they're like 12-inch holes for all of the equipment. And I talked to somebody yesterday about doing that.
We got a question.
Yes, Brian.
Hi, thanks. For you that don't know me, my name is Brian Watson. I've lived in the area for the last 4 years. I have a home down here on State Road 16, and I work here in town. I have a comment and a couple observations and a question to ask about the park. First, I think it's a great thing. I think the kids in the community, which I've heard several times over the process, that this is for the kids, this is for the kids. And it's not just for the kids, it's for the community as well. We all know that. And I think everybody's excited about seeing it completed, and we're excited about seeing it progress as well. A couple observations I had this last weekend and the weekend before, when the ball games are going on there, is a concern with the bathrooms. As you may be aware, the only facilities for bathrooms are the ones that were used in the last years past. That's a bathroom that is shared by both male and female. Only a certain number of people can be in there at a time, and if you're the unfortunate one to be 6 or 8 people deep in the line, and are the other sex that's not represented in the bathroom at the time, it becomes problematic. I noticed that in the last 2 weeks that it was a problem. I saw a young boy who couldn't hold it any longer and had to urinate there on the side of the building. I also saw some of our great grandparents that come out to cheer on their kids and sometimes sit there for hours at the ball field, watching and cheering on the community and their grandkids and showing their support in that way. It's very difficult for them as well to try to make their way for that bathroom. This is not something that's a surprise to you. I'm sure that you guys are aware of this as well. My question is a sincere one. I know that the construction of the process of getting the park open is an important thing, and it can't get here soon enough in some people's mind. I don't believe, in my personal opinion, that having the situation with the bathrooms that we have right now is the most ideal situation. There has to be a better solution than what we have there right now. I am not in the know of everything that's going on with the current build bathrooms and how close they are to being open. So my question that I have tonight is there a way, is there a timeline, a date that we can anticipate those newer bathrooms being open so that it doesn't cause some sanitary issues and other problems in the community. And again, it's not just for the kids, it's for the community as well. I appreciate your time and an answer that you could give us on that
May I
question.
address
Maybe even a commitment to opening them as
Yeah,
well.
before you do, I do know that one night, because we did, got an email about the situation, but they had a new coach and the coach did not realize the key had unlocked, hid that bathroom that's down there now, that they've been using in the past. You know, so
Okay.
the single one. So that night, for some reason, they didn't get it on, it's not our responsibility to get it unlocked, but I'll let Bob answer the question about the other two bathrooms and.
Okay. And Jerry, as far as what I observed, it wasn't a night, it was the last 2 Saturdays.
Yes, that's
That
right,
I've been
yeah.
there, and that's been.
Right,
Right.
right.
I can let you know that, first of all, what we're doing right now, it's federal money. And because it's federal money, it has to be inspected and it has to be turned over to the town before we can open it. There was just they did an inspection on Friday or Saturday. I got a call about an inspection that was done, and there was still some additional things that had to be done with the bathroom. That had to be the concrete wasn't sealed. There was a couple other things, door closers and things like that. I got a hold of Mike Kleinpeter today about that particular thing, and asked him when we would be able to open the bathrooms. Do we have to wait for the Office of Community Rural Affairs to come in, inspect it, and then turn it over to the town? If we do it out of order, we could lose the $377,000 that was given to us by federal money. And I asked Mike about that. Mike said that Mike's exact words were, "I'm going to look into it. I will give you an answer tomorrow." I've also talked with Jason Randall, who is our contractor, and I've talked to Martin Duffy, who is the overseer of the whole project. He's the one that went in and done the inspection, wrote up all the stuff. I got a copy of that, and so did Jason, and so did Mike. We're going to go in and get those things corrected, and then I'm going to ask Mike again when we can do that. So right now, as far as we're concerned, our hands are tied for opening it up because we can't open it up until they give it to us. So hopefully, I'm hoping that within the next few days, or maybe even I would hope no more than a week, that they could turn that over to us. But again, I can't predict what Mike's going to say. So as soon as they give us the permission to open them up, we will have them opened right away.
Thank you, Bob. So here's a quick follow-up question.
Sure.
In the meantime, until they get to that point, which could be longer or shorter than we expect, we don't know. Is there some kind of provision that could be made in the meantime, like maybe the town come up with some portable potties or something to put there in the meantime before that gets open?
I'm going to now give this to the council because we let the baseball, we let the Little League use that area, take over that area, and they have always provided all that kind of thing, and not the town itself, because we don't charge them to use that area over in there. So now I'm going to turn it over to the council and let them answer that question.
And I would appreciate just one more question on top of the one that I just asked based upon your responses. So in the most respectful way possible, I think it would be a really good gesture on the part of the town, seeing as we're in it for the kids, we're in it for the community. If something like that, if funds were available, could be foretaken by the town to say, hey, in the meantime, until we get this opened up, we can provide to inventory or whatever their outhouses are as a sign of just goodwill, being that we are in this park for the benefit of the community and especially the children and whoever else is there.
And again, I'll defer to
Yes,
them.
and that may be a good.
I guess I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
Has it been a problem in the past?
Yes. it
Okay,
has.
it's just never been brought up or never brought to anybody's attention.
That might be the case, Mr. Jerry, that might be the case, and I think it's only enhanced now because there is a bathroom facility waiting to be
Well,
opened.
correct.
That is coming up,
Brought it
so,
to
but yes, it has been a
Sure.
problem in the past.
Right.
Thank you.
Because I know Shantae and them have a board for the baseball teams, and I know they have some funding. I believe I did check on some of the porta pot prices. They're like $125 a day. A day, and that's not counting a sanitizer. Because I think for just the thing Saturday night was $300.
We paid $325
for one night.
for two sand,
So
for
it would
two.
be asking the town for quite a bit of money. Is it, if it's on just like, is Saturday night the biggest night of the
Usually
situation?
it's Saturday. the whole day.
Saturday.
There are games that start in the morning and it goes all the way into the evening.
Okay.
That's the big day.
Okay.
And now we've got multiple teams with the coaches pitches there, the major league there.
Right.
And now also with the T-ball, because we're kind of working on the area up there. We don't have a T-ball field right now up there.
Right.
So that certainly is the issue there.
So basically Saturday days is the biggest problem.
Yes, sir.
So, and I'm not gonna ask the board right now about it, but I think through another organization and maybe the park or the baseball organization themselves has some money that maybe they see about getting a porta pot or two on a Saturday. But I would like to talk to Chantal about it. But I mean, if we would have to have them up there every day, that's
And I agree with you.
7 days.
That's a good point.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
I think we can reach out to the park board,
Yes.
talk to them about where we're at with the inspection process, see if they're interested in doing something like that on Saturday.
Right. And
And
I'm
then we can move forward
sure,
with that.
a private organization will help too.
Thank you.
Okay?
Can I bring up one more thing
Yes,
about
you
the
may.
park while I had forgotten? So, Steve talked to me about this, and then a friend of mine whose granddaughter played T-ball opening, Saturday. It's believed, and I think it's probably a good idea, although I wasn't up there, I don't know, but to make the parking lot one way, perhaps entering from Pike Street and exiting from Adams Street, because when vehicles are parked on both sides of the parking lot and there's vehicles going both ways, there's not a lot of room and creates
It's just kind of like up here,
a traffic jam.
we had traffic jams, we had kids that were in the parking lot hard to see, and when people are going both ways, they're looking for a spot, and we had longer vehicles. Adams Street is thinner, so people coming in, you had people leaving, we had people trying to get out of the way, and it was causing a lot of issues. Some were actually going off the edge of the road, and I don't want to see any type of pavement destroyed. So I looked at it, Pike Street is nice and wide, there's more visibility for cars coming in, and then leaving is a lot smaller. And I think when you had the buses up during the school, I remember when I was a kid, that was how they did it. I thought they came in Pike and then exit. I could be wrong, but I just think for safety for visitors to the park and the ball diamond, I think a one-way in, one-way out.
So would we need a do not enter sign there at Adams?
Yeah, you would
Maybe.
probably do not enter,
Exit only.
exit only,
Do not
and,
enter, whatever.
yeah. I don't think it'd be too much, so no. I just think for safety, because I watched cars come in on Adams and they're trying to hurry to get up there, and I slowed them down, but there was two little kids by the tailgate, my dad was getting in a truck. Simple thing, but one of them just would have, and the driver was like this, like, where's the parking spot? So it just worried me. And I had other people actually approach me about the same issue at night, so.
That's where we throw those speed bumps in.
You could up there.
I know.
Christina, could you look into what we would need for an ordinance for that? Like, would we need kind of some kind of traffic flow ordinance or?
We could, I mean,
And you could do it from Adams in, it might be more natural.
Right.
And go on Pike, and they got two ways to go, left to right.
Yeah.
I think either way would work.
Mhm.
More I think about it, I think maybe going in Adams, then exit Pike. Because like I said, they go up there, they could turn left, just go straight up the county road, or they could turn right and go uptown and buy some food from the animals. So that might be a better way.
So you're saying they'd have to turn onto Pike and then go into the park?
Well, no, what I'm saying is that
You're saying,
make it one way, make it naturally, because a lot of cars do go up, I'm thinking about it, a lot of cars do go up Adams Street to go up there, make that the entrance, and make the exit Pike Street, instead of Pike
yes,
Street to
okay,
Adams.
right, okay,
So I think that might flow better.
okay.
And,
Well, where's the sign going at?
I would put the sign right there by Ohio Street, so they don't go past it.
I was just thinking of, if the sign is by like the exit or entrance, I don't know. But yeah, I think there's something there that we need to look into to help with that
If you go
flow.
in on Adam, you don't need a sign
Oh,
really.
you don't need a sign, really, just,
Keep the sign on the south end, dude.
Mhm.
you know, Pike Street, you don't need it. But
Yeah.
I just think it'll make it flow, and I think for safety, I think it'd be nice, because it is a little tight up there.
Okay.
And, I mean, on average, we have 80 cars at a time, up to 100 plus still.
Yeah.
So people, those parking spaces are gold,
Mhm.
and they're looking for them, so I just don't want anybody to step out in front.
Right.
But thanks for listening.
Right, and I mean, and as we progress, or as they progress with the park and stuff, there's other issues that
Oh, yeah,
are
there's
probably gonna be
always,
discovered after we get started, so.
well, that's
Yeah.
why I brought up the,
So you look at the most important things first, and then, you know, right here, I can visualize some of it, but to what we need to walk down there and look and,
well, each time we have something else added, we're gonna see
Yeah.
something that might need a little tweaking,
yeah,
you know, and that there, I saw it right away and approached you guys, and I talked to Christine, I saw it at the courthouse, just mentioned to her.
Okay.
So,
Is there anything else for the park then?
no, not that I know.
whole track is next,
I think we have anything new on that.
nothing.
I think we could probably remove that from the agenda unless something comes up with it.
Do you want me to take it up?
Yeah, please. Generator,
Small generator sitting on the concrete slab up by the wells, but waiting on NIPSCO to get the gas hooked up to us so they can finish hooking everything else up. Big generator's on order.
Okay.
Said it could be up to 30 weeks.
30 weeks? Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, thanks, Tony. 130 North Church Street.
Well, I haven't taken any further action because we agreed to wait until after May 8th.
Okay,
The property owner had asked to have until May 8th to resolve the issues. And through email, everybody, this is what I understood, everybody agreed to wait until after May
Right.
8th. And then there have been intervening events.
right,
well, I can tell you, the camper is gone. The person that we didn't know was staying in it, took it to Marion, we found out the night of the incident. The truck is gone, however, the backyard is in 10 times worse shape than it was when we first put about trash. I got new pictures, it's like from the very beginning now, just full of stuff. So the backyard is still an issue, and with the house, with the condemned on it, you have so many days to appeal that. I don't know if this is usually to do that or not. But she's still responsible for the grounds itself, like mowing grass and stuff like that, where not the house is condemned. But yeah, the backyard is in worse shape now than it was, like it's starting over. So,
and nobody's living there, they can't live
They
in
do
there,
not.
not living there at all.
you know,
So does most of that fall in the county now, or
Well,
in this?
as far as the backyard, not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, it's entirely up to you guys. We could proceed. I could try to get an order from the court to allow us to go in and clean up the backyard and assess the expense to them. or you can see what happens with the county, what they end up doing.
Well, I know the county, like the plan commission, they have to wait so many weeks, I think months before they can even do anything right now. It has to be abandoned. I don't know the timeframe, I mean, it's a good long while. So that could sit like that till first of the year, really, if not longer. So.
And you're saying that, I mean, there's no work that's been done in the backyard besides the
There was work
vehicle?
done, but they added
But
to
they
it.
Added to it,
Yeah, they did remove the pickup truck.
Okay.
It's been removed, I confirmed that. The camper that was on the list has been removed. And, just, it's 180 days minimum before the county can, plan commission to step in and do anything. So the town does, I recommend the town still continue with the backyard and, I mean, Mrs. Judy knows that she still has responsibility for this.
Right.
But nobody is living there right now.
Okay.
Well, I'm guessing they're not gonna mow,
Either.
and
Well,
we're gonna have,
she's still gonna be required to. but-
I understand, but we're
Yeah,
gonna
they're
have
not
more,
Yeah.
Not unless we tell them to, they're not gonna know, but I will
Issues.
talk with. Right now, because she owns it, it all falls on her shoulders, really. And I'm gonna have a discussion with her to make sure she understands that you still have to maintain the property.
It looks like it's been mowed,
Partial,
partial, okay.
yeah.
So Christina, what you would have to do is ask the.
us for default judgment for
Okay.
an order allowing us to enter the property.
Okay. So in that situation, can we hire an outside company to come in and clean it up, or if we want to?
If I ask the clerk for authority to do that, yeah.
Where do you guys go?
I mean, I think that we should move forward with cleaning up the property.
Yeah.
I have an additional question, if I
Go ahead.
can.
Sure.
Now that there's no one living in the house and any letters that are sent, can I just send them to Mrs. Judy? I don't have to send them anyplace else now, is that correct? Because before I was having to send it to the people that, the occupant and Mrs. Judy. So now I don't have to do that anymore, just to Mrs. Judy?
Just to her.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Christine.
Mhm.
Keystone property. Well, I'll just give you an update on the Keystone property. RCH has agreed with Keystone to purchase the property. And our initial goal is to put a walkway through there. That would be a memorial in honor of Canon Kathy Grandstaff, which would be a paved walkway with lighting, etc. And what we would like to do is have that in an agreement, and we would also like to give that to the town when that time comes, the whole property, so that Adams Street could be straightened out and we would be able to control any semi parking. So that is where it's at, and in the next few days, we will probably have access to that property, RCH, so
Next few days?
to buy it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would like to do it when that time comes. I'm going to ask the town, we would like to give it to the town, the whole property.
Tony, how's the mowing gone with that?
We wait for Dave to come in and mow, we mow everything else.
Who knows the strips? It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's looked good.
yeah, they did know it. Yes, sir. You have a question, Bob? Oh,
I just, if y'all purchase it
Mhm.
and then Dave's gonna stop mowing it,
once the Keystone tells them to stop, we would like our people to mow it, because that's why we bought a mower. If not, I mean, we can give it to you the day we pay them if you want, the check, the property.
I'm just asking the council
Mhm.
what your plan would be to do.
You gonna have it all surveyed?
I don't know, it'll be in the, whatever's in their agreement.
If it's all gonna be town property,
Pardon?
if it's all gonna be town property eventually. So, I don't know. I think that would, I don't know if that's a legal thing or if that's up to the council. It's up to them.
You know, on the west end of that property, some people use it kind of a dumping site for,
Right,
not trash, but materials and stuff. So I don't know
Yeah.
if the town would still want that happening or not. So.
Yeah.
That's what,
well, I hope the town would like to have it, if not, we'll just hang on to it. You know, but,
I'll
that's,
try to put in for a UTV to control if you guys don't mind, so.
you're not gonna get that.
Maybe. How about a bicycle?
How about a scooter?
Okay.
But no, that's what we'd like, I mean, that's what we
Sure,
wanna do.
sure.
Out of, you know, because, it is a nice piece of property. It would make the town, look great once that was done and, bring more people in.
And it'd take care of a lot of
It would
things
take
that
care
we're
of-
worried about.
That's correct. That is correct. So I guess what I'm gonna ask, from RCH's point of view, do we just give it to the town and you accept it or you don't accept it? How does it work?
That's up to you all.
Yeah.
No, I can't be, I mean, right now I'm in a different area.
You need to be talking to the two men beside you.
You guys.
I mean, that would have to, it'd have to be an agenda item at a meeting though,
Well,
right?
correct.
So I mean, it's not like we could do it within a day. or
No,
anything
no,
like
I'm just
that.
saying, we're gonna take access, I mean, we
Mhm.
will be purchasing it within the next week,
Mhm.
period, so.
I'm just talking about the mowing part right now.
Yeah, so in that month that we're not there, like before it can be brought to the council to even talk about taking over that ownership of that property.
If we, I mean, I'm just gonna say this, our organization did help buy a nice mower to take care of that.
Yeah, I know
property,
that
hoping
was-
that we were gonna secure it,
Yes.
and because some hesitation, we did not get it. But we went ahead and purchased the mower.
Mhm.
Now, if it takes me mowing it and a volunteer, we'll take care if we have to, but I'm asking the town out of common courtesy to assist right now,
Okay,
you know,
yeah, that sounds fair then.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
Tony.
does there need to be a motion?
It's up to you.
It's up to y'all, if you wanna make a motion on that,
To mow
to
it,
mow the whole thing. Before
once it's out of Keystone's hands, correct?
once it's out of Keystone's hands, I would think you'd want to make a motion and then all agree to mowing it, even though it's not town property at that time.
I'll make
Would
a,
you agree with that?
Mhm.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that the town will take over the mowing of the Keystone property once RCH has acquired the property.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. thank you.
Hey, Tony, you got anything else for us? Steve?
Yes. First, I need to order a set of pads for the AED after the incident tonight. They're around 200. I got. So, Jerry, he was over there, so. $241 for a set of pads for it. You guys, you buy them as you go, so they got a 5-year shelf life, so I'd like to get the okay to buy that set of pads and get them on en route, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the $241 for pads.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
The other thing is I sent everybody the email today. Sorry it took so long, but it took a while to get it typed up. There is an issue that was brought up about people parking their vehicles in yards. We got one that's really bad. They got several. There's only so much I can do with the local ordinance that we have. Like I said, in my email, I found that a lot of towns and cities are having the same issue where people are just parking wherever and then they're destroying the property, making it muddy, making it look bad. And really the only issue they can do to try to fix it is a local ordinance. There is no state law saying they can't park in their yards. That was just an example, that's why I sent it to you, it wasn't like meant to be an ordinance to vote on tonight. I'd like any guidance from the board on how to handle it. I check the cars and see if they've got plates, and and like one, they come and go, they bring different ones in, they park other ones. I am going to approach him about some trash issues along the train tracks, well, the old tracks. But I got several, one here on the corner, they parked, that's looking bad. This last winter, they had a vehicle get stuck in the yard because the water flowed up on there, it was just all mud, and they just tore stuff all over the place. Tony helped me get it pulled out in the truck, but not, it wasn't going anyplace.
Well, and that was, I like at least the example ordinance you gave of must be parked on an improved surface. I think that makes a lot of sense for even just maintaining the property if you're not able to mow and weed eat under. I mean, that makes sense. So I definitely think that there's some things there that we could move forward with. Yeah, so.
Yeah, if you guys, anything you do to help out and try to solve the situation, because, I mean, you get a place that, you get somebody who wants to buy a house and they have to try to, I mean, it's gonna hurt it. And right now, where I am, the house goes up for sale, it's usually done within 30 days or less. We had one come up, and I think less than 2 weeks, I already had a contingent offer on over here just now. And then we have another one on Church Street, Mr. Farino is redoing that completely inside, he's everything. It's gonna be a nice house for somebody, I like to keep it looking nice. I hate actually telling people, but it comes to a point where some are just taking it to the extreme, and better to nip it now than wait until it's just pretty bad.
So a question real quick about, the multiple cars that are parked in a certain area.
Yes,
You legally can go onto their property to see if those are registered and, okay.
no, I can't, what I can do is.
How do you find out? Because there's so many.
I can ask permission to take a look, but also if I go onto a legal sidewalk and try to knock on the door and I can see it from that public view, then I'm good.
Okay.
Is how I do it for our ordinance. If it's in the backyard behind a fence, what I do is when I get a legal ability to see it, I don't ever trespass or go against somebody's privacy. There's a thing called curtilage, and Christina knows the legal term. Curtilage is a protected part of a person's residence. Law enforcement can't cross that for a search unless we have a search warrant or emergency situation. Now, I don't know, Christina, if an ordinance can be written where we can do something like that or not, but like with 130 North Church, I mean, I can see over the fence pretty easy, I mean, 6'10", but what I finally saw was when something fell down and busted the fence open, it was open, just standing there, you can see right through it and see the trash. Once that happened, then, we can do all that. It's just going to cleanup. I want a court order to go back there to get it all cleaned up. But with his house, I was able to see plates, see everything. And then I trespassed your property, I walked down the tracks or to the tracks I see on the one in the alleyway. And it's got a plate on it, it's valid. Right now, I can't make them turn on the car
Right.
to do that.
So what about like the truck that is there in their railroad, their property now, which used to be parked way back in the back?
They can park it there as long as it's valid.
Okay.
That's where this ordinance.
Well, I don't know, it's facing, so you can't see the plates.
That's why I thought I took it upon myself, thinking we met, I walked across the property, take a.
Oh, wait a minute, you trespass on somebody else's.
Yes.
Never mind.
Well,
You guys would have.
sorry, June, I trespassed your property, so,
That's okay.
Yeah.
but, I didn't leave any footprints. So, but no, you have to be in a legal spot to be able to see it, is how we do it here in Roann. And, most people cooperate 100%, and he did last time I talked to him, but he's actually doubled how many vehicles he had before. And he does bring them and going. Never seen anybody working on any, but they come and go. But it's just his yard is just total mess. That's why I put on there also, 30%, because you also have to have water to be able to drain too. If they decide, I'm just gonna put gravel in the whole yard, well, then you don't have proper drainage.
you know, and that's gonna cause an issue. It's gonna run off other people's property. So 30% is a number that actually the planning commission, one personnel came up with that they like is 30%. So I'm trying to find an option for us that will work out best for everybody. Still give them opportunity, if they want to park it like that, but they just have to do some steps themselves.
Mhm.
Kind of like I tell people with a car that they might be working on it and it's not operational, but that car means that much to you, and put a car cover over it, maintain underneath the ground around it so it looks nice, won't say anything. Not, no tarps, anything like that, because the law actually says, and the ordinance actually says, no covers. You know, but I allow a car cover because car cover looks nice, and that shows that vehicle is important to you. As long as you trim around it, and I'll work with you. So if you guys come up with some ideas, shoot me some ideas too. You know, help me out a little bit.
So what about some of the vehicles that don't park in the flow of traffic on Chippewa still? Some, I've seen some, no.
The ones I see, I actually address with them.
Okay.
And I've had a few move. Actually, everybody's been very cooperative with me on that. I explained to them about the ordinance, about the safety feature of it, and I'm not having anybody complain. So, even a group of teenagers I talked with, that shoot
Cool,
them.
good.
So,
Anything else, sir?
no, we know 16 is going to be worked on. It's supposed to be done by the end of June, but it's starting 19 and 13. I don't think it'll be a lot. We've had a whole pothole by West Street on our side since last year. They filled it a couple times and they got large a month or so ago. And I called NDOT and they came out that day and they put they tried a new way to try to seal that hole up so we don't have any flat tires or crashes.
Okay.
What are they doing on 16?
They're just gonna be doing some sealing up and stuff.
Oh, they're not widening it then.
No. There's no place to widen it.
Expressway.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. People have been pretty cooperative with me on this year. There's some that's not, but
Sorry.
yeah, well, I'll get to you tomorrow. But besides that, is there anything you guys need or anything like that?
We're fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Christina.
Nothing.
Okay. Robert.
Nothing.
Good. Anybody out there have any questions, any concerns? Donna?
I just wanted to ask, at the last meeting last week, the fireworks is going at $2,500 this year because of the 250th birthday. I don't know if that means more people buying them or what, but I didn't know if that is something that had to be budgeted a year ahead of time for the town. But the Heritage Group gets a donation for that, and the Festival Group, as well as the Lions Club, and I didn't know if the town would be willing to give a donation to help pay for the fireworks. You know.
Are we permitted to do that?
I don't think so. I would have to look it up, but I
We'll let
don't
Bob
think
check
we
into
are.
it.
Okay.
I would have to look to see
So
if
what's your
we're
total
allowed.
cost that you guys have to come up with?
Well, I think it's over $5,000, but if I remember, it's 3,000 last year, I think, so it's $5,500. Not positive, no, it's at least 5,000.
Anything else, Donna? Anybody? Tony?
I would like to say something. Tony and Damon and Judy and Tony's wife, they really did an excellent job with spring cleanup.
They did.
I mean, I have a lot of compliments from people even today, appreciate the work that they did to get the junk cars hauled down there when other people couldn't do it. And the Lions Club got some medal, got separation. They really deserve a good thank you for what they did.
Thank you. We'll make sure they get that. Thanks. Thanks. Nobody has anything? Meeting?
Hey, hold on, I had one thing. You had mentioned at the last meeting about RCH was looking at helping with concrete down at the ball field.
Yes.
Do you guys talk about that anymore?
Well, we got the quotes for everything for on the pricing.
Mm-hmm. But you guys haven't discussed how much you'd be willing to
Not
give?
yet, because it depends on how much town has too.
Okay, because I got another quote from Whitesell for
What'd you get a call from?
3,200 square feet for the concrete as well, for $20,800. So just wanted to put that out there as well. Yeah,
Oh, that's concrete all the way around in the
Yes.
back and clear across and
that was the concrete area that we had discussed.
20,000.
Mhm.
Do you have it, they just called you, you don't have the estimate or anything?
I don't have no, but.
And that's tearing out the bathrooms and everything? and
Well,
all that
no,
work?
because Shantae said that she didn't need that part done anymore. And
Oh,
Tony
really?
actually mentioned that he could get the work done that we needed to for the windows.
Well, I would say probably the town will pay for all that when it comes to, if we're gonna do it for that price. I don't know who lights or I don't know what kind of.
Who's doing the concrete
He's doing the
at the
concrete.
playground?
Oh, okay.
That's about right, $6 a square foot.
Yeah.
Pretty close to.
Okay. Well, I have a meeting Thursday night at our
Okay.
house, but I will, that figures 28.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, now meeting is adjourned at 7:52. Christine?
Tony,
What is it?
It's that one.
The learning?
That's the meeting.
I imagine a big